The following presentation contains white people behaving badly, mature themes, strong language, smoking, sexual situations, alcoholism, drug abuse, domestic abuse, public payphone abuse, backstabbing, bullshit, stupidity, teen pregnancy, fake pregnancy, assumed pregnancy, mean girls, fat girls, sad girls, bad mothers, deadbeat dads, bullies, brothers, brutes, brawls, lying, cheating, and stealing. And gay Jesus.
There is a place in Somerville. That's Massachusetts, to be clear. A tiny place, innocuous, a place called Magoon Square. For those of you not in the know, it's pronounced Magoon, not gown. For if you say it otherwise, locals there will hunt you down. It was a time of dereliction. In those I knew, no recognition. Of former selves young, fierce, and bold, now bodies broken, withered, old. It was a time of waning youth, cocaine the driving force of fun, days and nights forever blending, moon and sun confused as one. The constant flow of liquor, pills, heroin, and more. New ways to see the world and be, new ways to settle the score. It was a time of influence, money, glamour, fame, lifestyles rich and famous. Everyone knew your name. It was a time of ignorance, a time of hate and fear, the rising up of AIDS, the death knell loud and clear. A government witnessed, silent, still, no action for a cure. The plague, they said, was for the queer, so let the virus kill. It was a time which heretofore, drinks and smoke filled bars, conversations face to face, no texting from afar. It was a time of Somerville, still working class and brute, the story of a neighborhood, its culture, values, views. The characters here filled the streets and the homes, fell off the wagon drunk and alone, wallowed in lives of spousal abuse, their swallowed pride a tightening noose. A tale of people and their place, St. Patrick's Day that erbed a grace, a backward glance, dark days of yore. 1984. A triple threat was Kelly's trope. Her husband stupid, vain, a bully. Lost herself in gossip. Dope. Booze a mask for untapped hope. What had she ever wanted? Something to call her own. Whatever dreams were yearned for then were buried long ago. 30, depressed, 3 kids. No life. Did Kelly regret being Barry's wife? You're an asshole, he said to himself with pride. Always the braggart, insouciant, snide. The mirror winked back with a sneer and a smile. At his swagger, his boast, his manner and style. Being an asshole gave Barry great power. Uncaring, undaunted, he flaunted his might. Those around gave in, would cower. Knowing one word could incite a fight. Two-fisted drinker, a snort of coke. Led by his whims, his dick and his rage. Life to him a practical joke. But laughter would not the beast assuage. Such a pretty face, they whispered in haste. Too bad she couldn't lose the weight. The taunts that haunt, debase and berate resigned her to her curse and her fate. A fat girl Lisa always would be, The beauty inside they never would see. The dates and lovers fleeting and fast. She gave her all, wanting love to last. Alone and depressed, still harboring desire. With Kelly through drink, she'd blanket her ire. Friend and confidant, no doubt. Bill had never figured it out. Jobs were taken. Paychecks cashed. But where was Bill? Always last. He worked his days in a mindless rut, wanting but could not admit what. He filled his nights with endless banter. Behind the bar he'd serve and canter. 2 jobs, still home, no impending career. With Barry he'd pass the hours to hear Barry's opinions, tales, and glories of past. Do guys like Bill always come last?
A belt will only make things worse.
Kelly said, blunt and terse.
Accentuate your hips and curves. Even being thin like me. To pull it off would take some nerve.
Thank you, Kelly, such sage advice, I don't want to hear, and didn't ask twice. You sit superior so pert, but underneath you're just a dearth of manner, grace, and couth, not much more than a pretty face, and even that would stretch the truth.
Lisa muttered in her head, then turned to Kelly, keenly said,
So now let's talk of something else, of someone's dread and trouble. Steve and Maura, their marital bed, rocked with scandal, in the rubble.
I don't like to gossip,
Kelly quipped with a sneer.
but Maura says she'll leave him year after year. She does it for attention, for some pity, and then always ends up back with him. Then starts the shit again.
Steve, she told me, hits her. For that I wouldn't stand.
It takes 2 to make a marriage.
Kelly dismissed, wave of hand.
I should know. 'Cause unlike you, I happen to be married too. I know the trials, tribulations, all the troubles that can brew.
Are you defending Steve because Barry hit you too?
Was that a blush cross Kelly's face when Lisa called her out?
She thinks she put me in my place. She's fat and all alone. With just a word, a simple phrase, I'd cut her to the bone.
Kelly thought, then smiled, said after sipping from her beer.
Ours was just a blinded night, lost our wits, a drunken fight, of words both harsh and true. We had a moment, just a flare-up, roared to life then died. Barry hit me only once. A private riff, whence there's the difference. Steve hits her in public. Private preserves pride.
Kelly shrugged it off as if being hit a trifling tiff. Infraction picayune. Lisa changed the subject then, to try and lift an upward shift to Kelly's darkening mood.
So where is Barry, anyway?
Up the bar.
So soon?
He started drinking early. Sometime this afternoon.
Nothing new in that, I guess.
Lisa did attend.
After all, St. Patrick's Day. You know I like his friend.
Who? Bill.
Kelly asked, though she suspected all along.
He's single, so they say.
Lisa hoped she wasn't wrong.
He dumped his girlfriend long ago, a bitch, a slag, a nag.
Good to know. I'll make a move, I'm hoping to get laid.
The wearin' o' the green, they say. Everyone's Irish on this day. The dingy bar was all decked out, with shamrocks large and small. Saturday night would ring it in, and Sunday all would crawl out of hovels far and near. St. Patrick's Day parade they'd cheer, with heavy heads, eyes still bleary, hungover, sick, very weary. But on they'd march, sing Irish songs while toting cans of beer. The only fix for morning after. Hair of the dog, hollow laughter. The ladies dressed in glitter green, preening, prancing to be seen. Shillelaghs, leprechauns, colleens. Spirits would be high, and then the afternoon would follow. An Irish toast, rivers of beer. In their cups they'd wallow. But Sunday still far off for all. Saturday candies, till last call. Barry at his usual place asking for one more. Bill behind the bar was leery for he knew the score. New Year's and St. Patrick's Day droves of amateurs. Drinking, cursing, starting fights. Not a regular in sight. Those who drink 2 nights a year. The bane of drinkers everywhere. Like old ladies gaunt and gray. Gossip a female sport. Not so true from day to day as men too do report.
I hear Maura left him.
Bill said, recycling news.
Sent him divorce papers. Restraining order too. Steve's threats, intimidations. This time I think she's through. Hiding in the shadows, Steve creeps around and lurks. Outside of Maura's mother's. Showing at her work.
Bullshit. What a bitch, Bill. Tells these stories at her will. Never told him she was leaving. Threatens it each day and yet comes back home crying, pleading, begs him to forget.
Steve was doing coke, I hear.
Bill stated to convey.
Calling on that Marty.
Barry countered to downplay.
We all like a little party. Maura should know better than to piss him off, and when he's doing coke, should give him space. Not getting in his face.
That parking lot last Valentine's. Steve had her by the throat.
He woke next day, apologized. Left flowers and a note.
If Kate and David hadn't seen him when they left the bar, Maura could be dead right now. Steve, he went too far.
Kate and David, liars both.
Barry said as if an oath.
Maura's not a saint, She wasn't sober either.
If I was her, I'd sure be sure to tell him off. And then,
You're single, Bill, you just don't know who gets the blame. If it's not both, it's neither.
Kelly coming up tonight?
Bill asked to dodge a fight.
You know she won't be far.
Barry laughed, acerbic spite.
Her night out at the bar. Just another chance to spar. She's with that Lisa Sullivan. Who's on the make, I'm sure.
She always seemed so shy, demure. And such a pretty face. She's still with her boyfriend? Won't overstep my place.
She dumped that jerk a month ago. Good-looking girl like that. Take your chance, or I might try. Even though she's fat.
Not the life she had envisioned. Married on the run. Maura stopped her life at 30. And like Kelly, she feels done. Dead-end job, no prospects. Vodka tonics tall. Living with her mother, Linda, sister Sandra down the hall. How far can she really see? In this world alone? The local pub. A hair salon. These streets are all she's ever known. Only 49. Though Linda claims it's less. Mother now of 6 grown children. That no one would guess. Single, trim, slim figure. Catches roving eyes. But on close inspection, truth of age she cannot hide. Welfare for survival. Few pleasures fill her days. Endless game shows, cocktails. It's to Jesus that she prays.
They say that Sandra's pregnant. I wonder if it's true. I wonder if it's Ryan's. I thought that they were through. They say he's on the drugs again. Dottie kicked him out. Have you heard the gossip, Maura? On the streets or thereabout?
Ask her if you're worried, Ma. I have my own distress. My life is in a shambles, my marriage no success, so don't have time to gamble over someone else's mess.
You're the oldest, Maura. Your sister needs you now. 19, single, pregnant. Help her see this through somehow.
She could have an abortion. It's legal, don't you know? She made the choice to have it, can decide to let it go.
Never say that word in here. Abortion, it's a sin. Murder something to bemoan, not something to condone. God holds us in his hands, and so, our fate is not our own.
You'd rather that she keep it. Follow after you? Struggle with 6 children. Housing, welfare, food stamps too.
What do you have better? You're living here with me. Steve, he is your husband, to have you home, his plea. I spoke to him this morning, he called while you were out. Confounded, wounded, sorry, you left him in great doubt of where your marriage is, of what he could expect. He says he loves you dearly, is stunned and quite perplexed. The way you left severely, so sudden and abrupt.
Forgive my sudden anger. But may I interrupt? You take his words for candor, and here I must rebut. You believe his bullshit, the cunning way he talks. Behind the lies, the schemin' eyes. A con man and a fraud. My life may not be perfect, but my life is all my own. No God, no spirit, guiding light. For nothing to atone. But there's another reason. Be not concerned with me. There's Sandra, 19, pregnant. I think we both agree. A high school dropout mother. A life of poverty. Bright future dawns before her. Lost life she can't reclaim. A life impoverished, destitute. Dictated by her shame.
There's nothing shameful, Mora. Of lies let us eschew. For I was just as young as she, when I gave birth to you.
"19, tough, unruffled. Sandra smokes and swears and drinks. Conveys an air of apathy. Intimidating, so she thinks. Blinded to a life outside. Her enclave safe, her haven. In these streets she feels alive. Disdain her abnegation. But sometimes life can throw a curve. Sudden and unwanted. Sandra's eyes would open soon. Would she embrace the world? Or taunt it? "21, an addict yet. Ryan's speech is full of mirth. Believes he is the only one to get the punchline first. With no one to believe in him. Underwhelming expectations. Willing to degrade himself. For smack. His obligation. Thin, disheveled, looks the part, junkie on the skids. A face so brave, but in his heart, a lonely, frightened kid.
Fuck you, Ryan, go away. There's nothing you can do or say.
Sandra, are you sure it's mine? Because for this I have no time.
I should have known you'd act this way. I wish I never told you.
You took me by surprise. You see, I did not mean to scold you.
I have been with no one else. For no one else I care.
I have a child with my ex. This news brings more despair.
If you want no part of this, I'll have it on my own.
I'll never leave you, Sandra, of that you can be sure.
We gave our thanks in giving the night we crossed this line.
1984, I said, the year that you'd be mine.
Did you really mean it? Those words you spoke were true?
I'll prove to you I love you. Do anything for you.
Her tits are getting bigger. Her ass has gotten huge. She wears those baggy sweaters. I wonder when she's due.
Lisa had a laugh at Kelly's supposition. Kelly sipped her beer, quite pleased with her position. To be the one to bring this exposition to fruition, Lisa became pensive. Concern replaced her cheer. She spoke with apprehension, with tenderness and care.
Will Sandra really keep it? You think she has regret? Just 19 and unemployed. Her life's not started yet.
Kelly rolled her eyes and said as she lit a cigarette,
That little skank, the dirty whore. She wants to play, she's gotta pay. I was there and know the score, but would have married anyway.
Another sip, her laughter forced. Kelly felt her own remorse. There you have them, gentle viewer. Players introduced. But what is what and who is whom? Let's see if you deduce. Husband, wife, a tangled web at each other's throats. Each would give the other up. But then they'd be alone. Two single friends, seemingly of a single mind. For one, the night may end in sex, the other disinclined. Then a mother with her daughter, living back at home. Mother drinks and daughter thinks. It's time for her to roam. 19 young and foolish, 21 and sad, together with one wish to form a misbegotten duad. But wait, there's someone missing? On this St. Patrick's Eve, a husband searching for his bride. I speak, of course, of Steve. Cocaine is Steve's passion. He's handsome, it is true, but wounded pride sits deep inside. His vanity now bruised. He married Maura long ago, young, in love and foolish. In his eyes, she is his prize, which makes him jealous, brutish. But love is just another game. And Steve, he does not lose. He forced her back before and knows. He makes the marriage rules. Steve dropped a quarter in the slot. It used to be a dime. This payphone, lifeline, privacy, a partner in his crimes. Could call on Marty for his coke and nobody would hear. Secretly chase Maura, intimidate with fear. He pushed the numbered buttons. The sing-song sound they made. The ringing on the other end. Please pick up, he prayed.
Is Maura there?
Steve sweetly asked, putting on his charm. Linda could be talked around, placated, disarmed.
Steve, what are you doing? You know you can't call here.
Linda started getting nervous. Steve could hear it in her voice. Maura must be somewhere near, and Linda made the choice not to let her daughter know that he was on the line.
I only want to talk to her. Be sure that she is fine.
She isn't home, and if she finds you called again, may do something drastic.
Steve stopped and composed himself, could feel his anger rising, his sheepish cover crumbling, his manner more bombastic. He tried again, patronizing, keep her on his side, concerned and sympathizing, wounded, humble, shy.
I'm sorry, Linda. Didn't mean to take it out on you. I'm just so nervous, worried. Don't know what to do. I know that she's been drinking, doing coke, and maybe more. I only asked to offer help. Not for me, but her.
I understand and know you care, but leave her on her own. She needs time to think things through, time to be alone. I tried to ask her questions, but she hasn't talked to me. Don't know how to help her. Know nothing of her plight.
Steve saw an opportunity, a chance to play the night. He could comfort Linda, shed light on Maura's blight.
Perhaps I should come over, bring dinner and some drinks. Then we can talk, discover what Maura really thinks. I know she's been distraught and sad. I know you're distraught too. A bottle of Old Thompson? We can figure what to do. Help Maura get the help she needs to straighten out her life. What kind of rotten husband would leave a troubled wife?
I wish we could. I'd love to hear your side of the story.
Linda treaded softly to escape his oratory. But a drink or two, though not amiss, could be construed as predatory.
But come near here and you may bear the nature of her fury. She might call the cops on you. Have you locked up tight? And you don't want St. Patrick's Day in jail for the night.
Steve thanked her and hung up the phone. He knew Linda was right. And if Maura really wasn't home, there was a chance she might be with Kelly, drinking beer, St. Patrick's celebration, getting drunk and full of cheer. In her inebriation, Steve could have his way, turn her head and then, after coaxing with a line or two, bring Maura home again. Steve dropped a quarter in the slot. It used to be a dime. This payphone, lifeline privacy, a partner in his crimes. He pushed the numbered buttons. The sing-song sound they made, the ringing on the other end. Please pick up, he prayed. Kelly answered, her lilting tone a sign. Steve could hear the alcohol, knew she'd want a line. If he could get her all alone just like that time before, kiss and cuddle, snuggle up, plus a little snort, she would tell him everything of Maura's current plans. For Kelly, she knew all the news, her word as good as bands.
Hello, Kelly. Maura there? Has she been around?
She's not here, Steve. Haven't seen her. Neither sight nor sound. Hasn't been in touch at all.
She's somewhere to be found. I called her mother. She's not there. At least that's Linda's tale.
I know you know that Sandra is with Barry's brother Ryan. And Sandra told him Maura's back. So Linda must be lying.
I hear Sandra's pregnant.
That seems to be the word.
A flagrant case, utter disgrace. Dirty, rotten shame.
Nothing she can do or say with just herself to blame. The whole thing is absurd and so. Another teen cliché.
Any plans for you tonight? To celebrate St. Pat's.
Meet and Barry up the bar. Nothing new. And when I do, I'm hoping there's a chance that he could still be somewhat sober.
So, Barry's not at home right now.
Steve had her in the queue.
I can come on over if you've nothing else to do. I have some lines and happenstance. It's just enough for two.
Of course I'd love to see you.
Kelly squealed in mock delight. It was a chance to score some coke, to reach the highest height.
But Lisa's here if that's all right. She's hanging for the night.
I got enough for all of us.
Steve blustered, quite the sport. But who was using whom right now? The ball was in whose court?
Okay, I'll see you later.
I'll be right over, bye.
Kelly then hung up the phone. Steve, a glinting eye, needed to attain more coke, maintain his reputation, his charm, his wit, his masterstroke, the maestro of flirtation. Steve dropped a quarter in the slot. It used to be a dime. This payphone, lifeline privacy, a partner in his crimes. He pushed the numbered buttons. The sing-song sound they made, the ringing on the other end. Please pick up, he prayed.
Hello, Marty. How you doing? I need a little favor.
Barry sat and scratched, losing tickets by his side. The lottery was not his friend, the lottery a lie. Bill stood on the side, watching Barry as he does. His mind was reeling, same old feelings. He knew he had to hide. Bill wanted to reach out, give Barry's neck a rub. Let his fingers linger there, the ache of lonely love. He wondered what would happen if Barry only knew. He wanted to be honest, speak, but that would never do. Barry felt his penury, lottery was nullified. Spoke, both angered and annoyed, took the losses in his stride.
Fucking nothing.
Barry cried.
Can't win for losing. Why do I try?
Barry lit a cigarette, got another beer.
What was it we were saying? What topic so near and dear?
Only Steve and Maura. And the game that they are playing.
Bill said, took a breath, tucked his feelings deep inside.
There is a thing.
Barry stated.
Little thing called pride. She is his wife, Bill. Jesus Christ, Bill. He only wants to talk.
She's done with being used by him and has the right to balk.
Who cut your balls off? Where'd she hide them? Sound just like a broad. This is why you're single, Bill. Don't understand at all. What women really want and how to make them toe the line. If Kelly tried to leave, to walk, I'd be sure to change her mind. Don't have to hit them every time, other ways to treat them. Threaten and intimidate.
And if that fails,
then of course you beat them.
You talk this way, you're full of shit. You never hit her. Have you?
More a push, I swear to you. A screamin' match one night. She said she'd leave and take the kids.
What reason did she give?
It was that time she hit the skids. The booze. The coke.
And Steve?
A stupid thing, a minor fling. She gave me back her ring and said she'd had enough of me. She grabbed a bag, the rant and nag. Cocaine had made her gutsy. Upstairs, she went to get the kids still sleeping in their beds. I met her in the hall and said, "You stupid bitch, take heed. You want a life of freedom, a life of coke. And Steve?" She tried to throw a punch at me. My drunken state, I lunged. Caught her, clipped her shoulder. Down the stairs she plunged. She hit her head, she sure did bleed. A lesson that night learned. I locked her out unconcerned, wouldn't let her in. She begged. She cried. Apologized. Should no men always win? Cunts and whores, that's all they are. We are in control. And Mora too should be aware. Whatever Steve says goes.
The doorbell rang and Kelly fluttered, floating on the air. She crossed the room and fluffed her hair, for Steve was waiting there. It was more than coke that excited her. It was breaking rules, taboo. To have Steve in under Barry's nose. He'd kill her if he knew.
Come in, Steve. Have a seat.
Kelly led inside the door as she purred and cooed. She scratched her back, lifting her shirt, trying to set a mood. The thong that Kelly wore was there for Steve to see. The telltale sign above her skirt. In shocking shamrock green.
Lisa's looking good.
Steve thought, cutting up some coke.
Lost some weight, cut her hair.
He'd give her a poke.
So, Lise, I hear you're single now. Broke up with that Mark guy.
Can't keep a secret around here.
And shouldn't even try. We've known each other far too long. No secrets, yours or mine.
Lisa shrugged her shoulders, leaned in to snort a line.
And you don't see a problem.
She said, taking a deep breath.
Is nothing private, sacred, our lives entwined and meshed?
There's nothing wrong with being close, like one big, happy family.
Lisa merely smiled, was in no mood to fight, but wanted to remind Steve that Tolstoy might be right. Not every family's happy. Not every family's tight. The doorbell rang shrill and loud like Kelly's nasal whine. On her feet she giggled, laughed. Kelly's night was going fine. She made a deal with Ryan, who was looking for some cash. Another dig at Barry, her manner bold and brash. Kelly had her ways behind her husband's back. And like a game of poker, the deck she held, she stacked. He may play the joker, may sleep around on her, but she could fuck him over and play him for a jerk.
How you doing, Ryan?
Steve asked, not really caring. His interest was in Mora. News Ryan might be sharing.
Doing good, Steve. How about you?
I lost my wife. She said adieu. Been hunting high and low. Is she back at Linda's? Tell me what you know.
I'm not allowed inside the house. Don't know what's going on.
You fuck around with Sandra. Of that there is no doubt. Must have some inside knowledge. Use that info for some clout.
Mora's hiding out on you,
said Kelly, breaking in.
This act is getting tired. It is nothing but chagrin. And Barry's waiting up the bar. So let this show begin. You better have them, Ryan. Don't try any of your tricks. Won't listen to your bullshit. You lying, little prick. I can see right through you. You're not so sharp and slick.
25, they're yours.
He said, a practiced Cheshire grin.
You said 20 on the phone.
Kelly snapped, her patience thin.
At half price, a steal, a win. $50 worth of food.
Ryan, quite the businessman, thought he was so shrewd. Kelly bared her fangs at this. Would have him chewed and screwed.
$20 or Barry learns about your thieving ways. You stole your mother's food stamps. He'll come at you ablaze. Your brother beat you once before. He'll beat you once again. So give me what you promised. And I'll say nothing. Then you leave and go along your way, and we will just pretend. Nothing ever happened. And here the story ends.
Ryan held the food stamps, Kelly held the cash. They quickly made a count of 3, and in a moment, flash. The deal was done. Exchange was made. Back on an even keel. Ryan took his leave, pocketing his treasure. Victory revealed, Kelly reveled in her pleasure.
That was cruel and harsh.
Steve said, laughing all the while. Admired Kelly's strength, her drive, her will, aplomb, her guile. The kind of wife he wouldn't want. Treacherous and vile.
Nothing cruel in what I did. We both got what we wanted. The junkie now, he has his cash. I stood my ground undaunted.
Standing, feeling vaunted, Kelly was above the fray. She turned to Steve and Lisa and stated with disdain,
I never pull my punches. Never give in or abstain.
Kelly's voice was cold as ice. Could cut, could slice, could slay. As she spoke, unchallenged, willful.
I always get my way.
Lisa nodded in agreement. Knew Kelly's words were true, but held her tongue, said nothing, as she learned was wise to do. Compliant and congenial. Keep the peace, no strife. It was easy keeping silent. She had done it all her life. One brought up in disarray, chaos and deprival. Lisa learned that silence isn't golden. It's survival.
He'll steal from his own mother.
Said Steve, another line.
21, a junkie. What a waste of fucking time.
The coke was flying freely, laughter and good cheer, but underneath the mirth and smiles, danger, getting near.
Guaranteed to offend. Everybody.